Hi, everybody. Queen Crystal King in the building. I'd like to say hello and give peace and blessings to all my kings and queens. Today, I need to talk with you about something that I talked with you about last year. This is about felons voting rights. If you don't vote, there's no need to complain. We all have to do our part. Make sure that we're registered to vote. Make sure the addresses match the ID cards. Even if you don't have a driver's license, I know in Philadelphia they have such a thing as, what do you call it? A non-driver's license. And you get your picture and all that good stuff, and it actually counts as ID. You have some people that's like, oh, I meant to get my birth certificate, or I can't find my social security card. This cannot happen. You have to start working on that now, right now. Because if you Google voting rights for felons in my state, then according to the state and the regulations of the state, if you have met the requirements, although you're a felon, you may still have voting rights. And I said last year the same thing I'm saying this year. I know people who were felons, and they did not vote because they thought because they were felons, they weren't allowed. Then I had people say, well, I'm a felon, and if I'm standing in line to vote, maybe they can pick me up, or I may have a warrant or something. Let's take care of what needs to be taken care of, okay? I do know for a fact that if you're on probation or parole, you have to be finished with that before you can start looking at the requirements for your voting rights. This is extremely important. Extremely important. I may make another video on this, but something's telling me that people are tired of what's happening now. Where are those children? The children that were separated from their parents at the border? Have all of those children been returned? Is 45 talking about free Rocky because he wants to get the attention of the African American community? Well, let me tell you something. The African American community has a lot to do and can sway this vote, especially if those who've had problems with the law, you served your time. You did what you were supposed to do. You paid your debt to society. Now, find out what requirements you need to vote. You just may need to re-register. It's as simple as that. I'm very concerned because I can't have another 4 years of 45. I just can't do it. I can't. And we have to do our part. We have to make our vote count, because our vote does count. Don't sit around listening to people, half high, it don't matter if I vote or if I don't vote. They still going to do what they want to do. Stop that shit. Just stop it, okay? It's time to stand up straight. Make sure that you find out what the voting rights are in your state as a felon. And by the time November gets here, we can all walk up in there with confidence because we've done what we've needed to do. And I'll bet you there are a lot of people who are felons who thought that they couldn't vote, and they haven't voted for years. You just may be able to vote. It's extremely important. Every single vote counts. And congratulations to the 18-year-olds this year. And you'll be able to vote for the first time. I need you to pass this on. This is not gossip. This is not mess. This is not beef. I don't do that over here. I talk about things that are important to me. I'm not in it for the clicks and views, as you can see. I just want someone to hear me say that just because you're a felon, that doesn't mean that you can't vote. Look up the voting rights in your state and find out if you've met the requirements, and you will be surprised of how many people can vote and they thought they couldn't. Well, that's all I wanted to say this morning. Love, peace, and chicken grease.